Watch what's approaching, the supreme moment. Reality striking closer than it seems, don't it? Go ahead, it's for the taking if you want it. If not, the dream dies and you'll be forever haunted. Then confront it.
What's good? So we've got the latest batch of the Extreme Z area units, and let me tell you, I am absolutely loving these units. I'm so glad they brought these units back to life, and it's been a while, I think, since anyone really ran these guys on a team, so it's been honestly fantastic for me when I found out about it last night. And we'll start off with the Super TEQ Super Saiyan 2 Goku and then kind of go through the list of units throughout the course of the next few days, but definitely wanted to start off with this unit because this one is definitely probably one of the best out of the bunch. And let's just go ahead and start off. We'll talk about the stats and we'll go from there, but as always, you know, if you enjoy the video, definitely leave a like, and if you're new, definitely hit that subscribe button. But again, this is the Whirlwind Strike Super Saiyan 2 Goku unit, and release date was initially August 10th of 2016, so it has been quite some time since this unit came out. And honestly, it's one of those, like, I don't know what it is. This batch of cards, they have pretty amazing card arts. I actually love this era of artwork that was done on the cards, so it's definitely worth noting. And the rest of the units, like the physical one and the agility one and whatnot, do have similar styles, and I do love that. But getting back to the unit, leader skill with the Extreme Z Awakenings, all types Ki +3, HP attack and defense increase of 50%. With the super attack, raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes immense damage to enemy. For the passive skill, it's all allies Ki +3, attack and defense increase of 77% when performing a super attack, plus an additional attack and defense increase of 30% per Super Saiyan 2 category ally attacking in the same turn, excluding self. So obviously, the more inclusion of Super Saiyan 2 category units you have, the better the boost you'll get from this unit. Now, in terms of links, you've got Golden Warrior, that's +1 Ki, enemies defense -2000. Saiyan Warrior Race is 700 to attack. Super Saiyan is attack increase of 10%. Kamehameha is 2500 to attack when SA is launched. Infighter is attack increase of 10%. Enemies defense -10%. And then Prepare for Battle is +2 Ki. And Shattering the Limit is also +2 Ki. It looks like 5 categories for this unit: Majin Saga, Pure Saiyans, Goku's Family, Kamehameha, and Super Saiyan 2. So this will be a nice addition to all the various level of categories listed on there. Now, in terms of the final stats themselves, you're looking at HP of 15,861, attack is 15,713, and defense is 10,776. 12 Ki Multiplier is 140%. And also to note, basically the format you're seeing here, so initially the first few rotations that you saw is pretty much an ideal situation where you saw a bunch of like support units pretty much trying to maximize the Goku's output as much as possible. Now, toward the rest of the video, you're pretty much going to see a much more realistic perspective where you have maybe one support on a rotation every so often. So for the most part, it is provided in a more realistic context, but I figured people would want to see a double supported ideal rotation just to get like a, I don't know, like an appetizer a little bit, you know what I mean, of how this guy could do in the best case scenario type deal. So that's why I was included, and that's why the format is as such. But again, personally, I really do like this unit because of, one, the amazing artwork, but it's one of those, you know, I don't know, it's one of those underrated, I wouldn't say underrated, but overshadowed cards is probably a good way to put it, because not many people really ran this unit, and honestly, this one, the physical one and the agility version, definitely needed some upgrades, and I'm glad they came out with the upgrades they did. Obviously not broken or anything, but definitely worthwhile getting that Extreme Z Awakening, and also, you know, honestly, at the end of the day, it's that versatility of options in terms of being able to run more units on a team. I mean, this guy, depending on how you run it, if you run a bunch of Super Saiyan 2 category allies on the team, or build a pretty much Super Saiyan 2 team, you're going to get a pretty good boost overall. Along with that, I mean, you have the all allies Ki +3 attack and defense increase of 77. Well, all allies Ki +3. Correct. Let me make that correction. And then when performing a super attack, you get that attack and defense increase of 77% to himself. So you get a Ki boost. You get a further boost upon having Super Saiyan 2 category allies on the team. So, you know, it's definitely worthwhile to include. And you have like a diverse set of categories to run this unit on. Majin Saga, Pure Saiyans, Goku's Family, you know, Kamehameha, and Super Saiyan 2. So link sets are pretty traditional from a Super Saiyan standpoint. You've got various links that pretty much are shared amongst universally, so you're not really going to run into a problem with key links or the ability to get super attacks, off. So you're not really going to have to worry about that. And honestly, it's just nice to be able to see this unit perform somewhat up to the current standards. You know what I mean? That's ultimately what this comes down to. And I personally love it with the Extreme Z areas happening when you have units. Basically, you have units becoming somewhat relevant again. Now, to further provide a little bit clarity on the Extreme Z area topic, I guess you could say, is it's almost like a love-hate relationship. I personally love the fact that all these old, outdated units that really are just previously were just sitting in the deck, not doing anything, become somewhat relevant. I personally love the older units and rainbowing them. That's kind of like, I don't know, like something I really enjoy about the game. But the flip side of that is just how extremely limited the team selection process is on the Extreme Z area stages. Now, I've mentioned this and covered this plenty of times, so it's probably just beating a dead horse at this point, but I personally think they definitely do need to increase the amount of options available in terms of team building on the Extreme Z area event. Now, I did make a Twitter post about this yesterday, but one of the good things, I guess, and it's pretty marginal, but I'll still mention it anyway, but they did increase the odds of the SSR, Whis, and Hachiyak unit that do drop on the Hero Extermination Plan story event. So, for those that are having issues with farming that unit, the drop rates are supposedly better. Now, I haven't tested how much better they are myself, but I have heard, and it was officially announced in the game when I checked last night, that the drop rates increase. Now, there's a couple of things to mention with that. One is obviously you need those two units to run on a team for the Extreme Z area event. However, the Whis option of the drop rates increasing is actually a good thing because that increases the likelihood or incentive to actually farm for SA for the other Whis units. So I personally have one or two maybe SSR UR units that are stuck at SA level 1, so I might actually test the rates out on the drop rates and see how often they do in fact drop. If that's the case, where it does drop on a pretty frequent basis, then it definitely makes the SA grind for the other Whis units much better. So I guess the biggest benefit out of that, whole small little update is really for newer players and players that really never spent the time to farm those units and actually need them for the Extreme Z area. That's probably the biggest point of them doing that update. The secondary benefit of that is, of course, farming the SA for the Whis unit. Now, Hachiyak doesn't really have any other unit existent in the game, so eventually when that unit comes out as a summonable unit or something, maybe that'll be beneficial to have a way to farm SA. At this point, it's not really relevant. But back to the original Whirlwind Strike Goku unit. It is a lot of fun, obviously dependent on how many Super Saiyan 2 category allies you bring, but even if you don't, you could probably still get some pretty decent output out of it, and it is based on the same turn kind of restriction setup. So of course you've got plenty of other categories to go on, and this guy is not going to be your starting 11 lineup type teammate, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be, at the end of the day, a nice little throwback unit to run on whatever teams you decide to run for the hell of it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be the top tier premier team of Dokkan Battle, you know what I mean? But it's going to be one of those, I think for me, I'm speaking for myself here, but a lot of you guys might agree, is considering how old this unit is and how long he's been around, it's just simply nice to be able to run a team and this guy performs decent. You know what I mean? Like, it's really nice to have that option to show him some love, dust off the get rid of the dust off the shoulders a little bit, let him get back in the limelight and enjoy himself. That's really ultimately what it comes down to for me. I think it's just the simple pleasure I get out of running this unit on a team. You know what I mean? So that's really what it comes down to. So I'm look. I'll close out by saying I'm very glad about the recent pick of choices of the Super Saiyan 2 units. I think it's pretty damn phenomenal. Personally loving it. I've got a lot of those guys ready to go, pretty much, just waiting, you know what I mean? So it's going to be a lot of fun. But again, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. and showcase for the Super TEQ Super Saiyan 2 Goku with the EZA. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.